Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Friday, Friday the 20th. Welcome, everybody. Yo, it is Friday. You said boosted Discord. Aw, thank you, Wimmy. Shout out to Wim who boosted our Discord 2 times. I'm still trying to figure out, I'm not an expert at Discord, but I have been getting better at it. I had to wake the Discord up and tell the people that we are awake and we're live. Now, I was thinking about this because I put a GIF on our Discord okay, some of you guys might have never watched this show, but it was I would probably say one of my favorite. I hate to say it this way, but I'm just gonna confess. All right, the Bad Girls Club, when I was a lot younger, was like my favorite reality TV show. The very early episodes. Okay, so I put a GIF on the Discord trying to wake the people up. Okay, and it reminded me of that one episode. And you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. Well, I'm gonna play it anyway, so I don't care what you guys think. But I'm gonna play it. Let me see if I can find it. Where did all my tabs go? All my tabs disappeared. Why do you do that to me? Hold up, y'all. Sorry. Don't be mad at me. And if you are, it's okay. Get over it. Okay, hold up. Here we go. Who remembers a bad girl? Who loved it? You loved it? Chell. Oh my God. So you're going to love this, right? So I keep putting this GIF in the chat. Y'all remember when Tanisha got up and she had the pots and the plants and she was like singing the little I didn't get any sleep at all, and she was up there with the pots and the pans. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna play a clip. Hopefully I don't get copywritten, but this is so funny.
Big heart.
I hated Rachel. I hated how I liked Bad Girls Club. Let me tell you something. I don't know what it was about the show. And then I realized, I'm like, this is a really shitty show. You got a bunch of women beating each other up, going out to nightclubs, half dressed, all right, and doing the most. I remember the episode where they broke the panini maker. This was the show. P-Tip's like, listen, I'm unsubbing because you like the Bad Girls Club. I don't like it. I don't even think it's running. But this was the show where she got up and started hitting the pots and the pans, waking everybody. This was real problems, okay? That whole, this was classic TV right here. You can't and Tanisha, she was my favorite because she wasn't acting this out. She was just real. I loved her so much. Confession, this was my show. Yes. That's how I'm feeling today. Oh my God. Let me shout out Diddy. Diddy, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. All right, you guys awake now? I just wanted to wake you guys up. Shout out to everybody. Put some hearts in the chat if you got a membership. I just wanted to tell you what was up in my mind early this morning as I'm getting ready for this live. She stressed you out. She did get arrested. I think there was one episode where she got arrested and she got married at the show and then she got divorced later on. I remember that. But Tanisha was so freaking iconic in my opinion. She was iconic. I think I watched like the first couple seasons, but then after that I stopped. She needed a soundboard. You guys know you like that. Y'all know. All right, you can confess. Some of you guys are like in love with the trashiest reality TV show. I'm just telling on myself which one mine was. I have no shame in my game. Okay, I really don't. Oh my God. All right. Let's get started. See, La Mala's laughing. Yeah, you're not getting no sleep because of me. Because I didn't get any sleep because of y'all. You said this is funny to me because it makes me think about how the kids coming up act and where they possibly got it from. I agree. I agree. I agree. You said I'm saving that for my next time my kiddo won't get up to school. Yeah, get the pots and pans and start just dancing. Dancing. Yep. That's what you got to do. You made it. Yay. All right. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Okay. So we got to get into it. We got some stuff we got to cover. And truly, I mean, we got 3 topics so far. I will be going live later on the little dog, the bounty hunter review. Okay. And I felt like that deserved a separate live than this. Because it just did. It did. All right. Now let me cough for a minute. Allergy season is coming. I could tell. One sec, y'all. And baby bunny's looking at me. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Y'all, yes, please. He said, tell him to hit that like button, please, and thank you. Let's start with some Diddy news because have you guys been hearing what's been going on with the Diddy situation now? Wim just gifted another 10 memberships. Oh my God, Wim. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you got a membership, put a heart in the chat, please, and thank you. You guys got to understand, I got a lot of great people here that support my channel and give memberships. So if you guys got a membership, put a heart in the chat, please, and thank you. Thank you, Wim. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So there's been a lot of news coming about with Diddy, right? Some of the stuff is already regurgitated. We kind of knew. Yeah, we knew that he would be on suicide watch. Now, I dropped a short yesterday about it. And tell me why YouTube decided to send me an email that said, "Are you okay? We want to make sure you're okay because there was concerns about a recent video that you just dropped." And it's literally a short talking about this man being on watch. So there's a lot of robots and a lot of like YouTube things that are happening that basically they're just monitoring the Diddy content. And let me just say this. I also heard from various creators that they're also censoring a lot of videos that have already been put out there from years ago on Diddy. Okay. So like the one with Justin Bieber, there's a couple of videos. And part of it, I think it's because they have to do with other celebrities. Okay. So they're going to do whatever they have to do to pull down and erase certain things from the internet. Yes, that's what's going on right now. Yeah. So I know when a couple of create now you could trim it. They'll give you a warning and then you can trim the section, but there's like legit bots all over that are watching what you're posting regarding Diddy. Let me give you guys, and I'll show you guys. Yesterday, I dropped a short, okay, and it was literally a short about Diddy's being on suicide watch, okay. Need help? You're not alone. Straight from YouTube. Hi there. We're reaching out because members of the YouTube community, including fellow creators, viewers, or staff, have expressed concerns for your safety or well being after coming across content you posted with topics related to suicide or self harm. Video that they're talking about is the one that I dropped. It was a short. Hey, Tommy. How are you, Tommy? Shout out to Tommy in the chat. Breaking Diddy on suicide watch in detention center, and then a hashtag that. Then they said if I need help, okay, which I guess they have a resource center, which is great. I'm glad that they do. Shout out to YouTube for having a resource center, but please note that I'm okay. And I know that the short was put there was like a restriction to it. So if you it was a short from last night, and I literally put the words suicide in there, and immediately, and this video might get flagged too, immediately it's probably automatic. I don't think it's a bunch of creators or viewers that reported my video. Now, has that happened before? If there's somebody being unsafe online, yes, it does happen. Absolutely, it does. So keep that in mind. But please note that a lot of the videos, if you're a creator and you got those Diddy videos, be careful because they're going through them and they're tagging to see. And there's also a lot of AI stuff out there. Listen, I appreciate Taurus. Not a shortage of that. That's crazy. That sounds like when there was a shortage of hand sanitizer. Remember that shit? Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me that a lot of people are, worried about what's being put out there about them. That's what's happening. You said it happened to QB. She mentioned something about it once during a live and then it got cut off. Yeah. So everybody's being hypersensitive right now. Things are being taken off. Matter of fact, I think BJ was also live. Hell, when she was doing the press conference, her live got taken down too. I don't know what happened there. And then she did like a quick upload to give everybody an update. I do remember that. So keep that in mind. I think it could be a confused bot. That's for sure. But yeah, you said Chat GPT. Yes, AI. There's a lot of AI stuff out there. Speaking of AI, there's a true crime channel that is AI, and that the true crime stories that it says are not true. Like they're all fake stories. So much so that locally there was a prosecutor here who had to contact, basically made a disclaimer about a true crime video that was put out there about a crime that never happened here. So there are true crime videos, channels that are not reporting on actual true crime stories. Thank you, Crafty Kid. That's a good point, too. September is Awareness Month. Yes, absolutely. So, yeah. You said, I heard someone gave some personal information, but I don't know what you mean, Janie. Let me know. Only mainstream media is allowed to repeat the S word. Yeah, you don't see them get censored, right? You don't see them get censored whatsoever. And that is true, though. When I just put this out here, and I was sent the link, and I was double checking. There was an article written about it. It was a huge story locally about that. So, people are creating. Mhm. There's like there's true crime, and then there's just crime, and then there's just like crime stories. Yes, not TMZ or News Nation. That's right. They could talk about these issues and they don't get taken down. But we, the little people over here, we do. We do. Okay. So anyways, just giving you guys a heads up about what's going on. So another thing that's making the news currently, and it's been making the news, we're finding out more about what's going on with the Diddy situation. Allegedly, now let me just say this. I don't know how I feel about this, but allegedly it's been said that there is a diary that Kim Porter wrote that's been released. And people are pulling information from this like book that I guess Kim Porter wrote. Has never interesting timing, right? It gets released after Diddy goes to jail and all this goes down. It doesn't get released before. It gets released after Diddy goes into jail, right? Yeah, so how does that work? Because let me tell you guys something. Kim Porter's father has always been very vocal about Kim Porter. Always, 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 always. Yeah, it's something like that. Kim's Lost Words or Last Words. It's a book that was published on Amazon or something like that. Now, anybody can go on Amazon and write a book. Y'all do know that, right? Well, I could write a book and then say that Kim Porter allowed me to release it. I just feel some type of way about it because I don't know if it's been verified and stuff like that. You said they may have been scared to release it with him free. That's a good point, Carly. That's a good point. At the same time, is it true that Kim Porter's case is being reopened? Taurus, I have not heard anything. And let me tell you what's really crazy about the Kim Porter case, too. You guys remember the guy that did the autopsy? Huge Hollywood medical examiner, forensic examiner, the guy that did the autopsy for Kim Porter. He also died, I think, a couple months after, if not a year after Kim Porter died. Okay. So that's interesting too. It makes you wonder who took over that office and everything as well. You said, question, why isn't Diddy charges part of Epstein? A lot similar names of the Epstein list. I think we need to be careful, with what's going on. I have a lot of Diddy videos that you guys can check out. Like I said, I started a playlist called Exposing Hollywood, which really looks at like the true crime side of Hollywood, some of the like untold stories and some of the told stories and what's been out there that we could actually put together. And it's been my favorite playlist because I've been able to get really creative and put information in there for you guys. Rabbit, it's been out since September 6th, allegedly, but it's now being spoken about. Really, Chico? Really? Huh. Monica, I don't think they ever got married. They never got married. I would say it was his ex mother of his children, but they never got married. Diddy was never married that I know of. I could be wrong. But she died under very suspicious circumstances completely. See, and my thing is that if there was a book that Kim wrote, okay, and I believe there could be a book out there. I really do. I believe that it's not necessarily like a book, that maybe it was portions of a journal that she was maybe putting information in, and somebody collected this and like put it in together. Yeah, Monica, it's like long term because they were on and off for a long time. But legally, I don't think they ever wed. Somebody correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Common law marriage. I guess you could say that because they were back and forth. So they're saying is that Kim Porter wrote portions of this like little excerpts and stuff, and then I guess they put it together. I can understand maybe seeing it that way, right? That she might have written like little things, because I write stuff down in a book. I wouldn't say it's a diary, but I write stuff. And in this book, it said it made a lot of allegations, some of which I'm like, some of these people that they're talking about, there's like they put out names, but they don't put out other people's names. And also, you guys, Kim Porter's father has spoken out multiple times and has talked. Why wouldn't he be the one to really carry this book out? Why someone else? It's weird how this situation with this book is working out. I have not read it. I heard it. I think it like sold out on Amazon. But like I said, anybody can write a book and put it on Amazon and say that somebody else wrote it, and it's an undisclosed autobiography. Matter of fact, a lot of for celebrities, people can do that all the time. I've seen it done multiple times on celebrities. So take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if there's anything in there that I don't know if I would, because I want to verify that Kim wrote it. How do I know that Kim actually wrote what's in there? Do they tell us? Truly believe that Diddy took her out. He tried to take Albie Shore. Yes, Albie Shore. Albie Shore was in a coma for how many months? For how many months? And he, one way or another, blamed Diddy for being in there. So, yeah. I don't know if it's official, but so if you buy it, you're buying it at your own discretion and you're making money for the person that bought it. So keep that in mind. But anyways, that's the issue with Kim Porter's book. I'll look into it. I got a couple of uploads that I want to do over the weekend. I was really inspired by BJ. She did that 24-hour stream on Diddy and really was able to put a lot of stuff in there. And I really like what she did with that Diddy, because I have a lot of Diddy content. You said Jaguar Wright was always maintained that she was working on a book. She was working on a book before he died. Shout out to Tommy. Were you in my chat when I got a little crazy about Jaguar Wright the other day? Let me know. Because I did talk about Jaguar Wright and how a great storyteller she is and how she's not very credible. Jaguar Wright let me tell you something. Jaguar Wright, not the J name. No, not Jaguar. Tommy's like, no, listen. For some of us that have been on YouTube for many years, even before we were creators, I remember Jaguar Wright when she first came on YouTube. I might do a video on what her son said about Jaguar Wright. But the book has always been, that's always been speculated. I talked about the book. Gene Deal did a video, and I believe what Gene Deal says more than Jaguar Wright. Personally, yes, she's a great story. Jaguar Wright is a great storyteller. She really is. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, she was a musician. She sang with Jay-Z. There's, a singer. There's videos out there with her. At one point, she had great vocals, but she doesn't anymore. She feels very jaded by the industry, and I understand. Maybe she was done wrong, but I don't think that she has the associations or the information. Jaguar Wright recently said, okay, let me tell you what she recently said. Okay. She said that she was one of the victims in the Jeffrey Epstein island, and that her name was redacted from that list. She also said that she rescued a Jeffrey Epstein victim. Yeah. She said this. I didn't put, I mean, yeah, y'all let me know. A great storyteller. Once upon a time, I was a Jeffrey Epstein victim. Really? Very perform. She's a performative artist. She is. She's great at telling stories. I've said this before. Mhm. Yeah, I heard it was several victims in one story she told. So this is why when she's coming, she's been talking about Diddy, but a lot of people have spoke out about Diddy. And so for me, she's not very credible. She's there's what's the word? Jag is about her bread. She's getting her bread. That's what it is. Okay. So I don't believe everything that comes out of her mouth. I believe her name is Jaguar. That's what I believe. Okay, moving on. That is true, pepperoni. That is true. Crazy and truth can exist. Very much true. I agree with you on that. But when it comes to her, I don't know. Yeah, I struggle with her. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. My opinion. Y'all support whoever you want to. Okay. Let's see. So, Diddy grand jury might hear from new people, sex workers talking to federal prosecutors. What do you guys think about that? So, they're going to be bringing in the S workers. Okay. The investigation into Diddy is far from over, with sources telling TMZ at least one person has been subpoenaed to testify in front of the grand jury. And we're told others are open to cooperating with federal prosecutors. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ at least two people plan to cooperate with the Fed's ongoing investigation of Diddy and are willing to testify in front of the grand jury in the coming days. We're told one of these people is a current S worker who claims they were involved with Diddy back in 2014. You said the attorney for Sean Combs says that he's on S watch for direct report last night. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. Thank you for saying this because I thought this too. I was like, it could be because he's struggling. Listen, Diddy, when he was arrested, he was also using, so he could be coming down from withdrawals, those kinds of things. Like I would understand maybe he needs a level of support and supervision. Also, it's a new measure. So yeah, maybe there is this like watch on him at this point. Lifeboat says, yeah, I know her proximity to him is hell of a lot closer than mine. It's absolutely open to interpretation of anybody, to be sure. Absolutely, Tommy. I agree. Everybody's got different interpretations to what she says. Will Justin Bieber testify? Usher? What do y'all think? Boy, the people are really quiet, right? Like, I don't hear Usher making a statement, Neo making a statement, Justin making a statement or any. I want to know. I want to know what's going on because I'm thinking it could be for detox too, right? It could be for detox, right? Anything. Yep. So I'm just wondering. You said I think they need to charge everyone who was involved. Like R. Kelly, Diddy could not have done this either, and handlers who got the narcotics, the lubrication, victims. That you know what, Taurus, and this is what I'm saying. Like, all right, now I've said this before. I'm not disrespecting anybody, but I do wonder about this. Okay, and I'm gonna say it. The people like Mr. Gene Deal and others that have spoken out about Diddy having all these stories saw some stuff going down, right? I do have to wonder how come have they been given deals? Have they been interviewed? Have they been told something? Like what happened? Because some of these folks, whether you're a security guard, a cook, a maid, whatever the hell kind of job you had at Diddy's, okay, or a handler, or you were just, the janitor that was standing there, if you saw something, you could be subpoenaed, right? Is anybody being held liable for anything else in this situation? Because this man didn't do this alone, right? When R. Kelly happened, all that happened, they interviewed everybody in R. Kelly's camp, right? Everybody. Anybody that might have had some knowledge to it. And you had people changing up the story. All those executives, you see the PR firms are stepping down. The PR people are quietly, and I'm so glad you said this, Monica, because let me tell you what I had found. Okay. Let me tell you guys what I found. All right. Let me see. Shit. The woman, Natalie, is it More? Natalia More? I think that's how you say her name. She's a PR firm for Diddy, right? She still has pictures out here. One second, y'all. One sec, y'all. You want your popcorn? Okay. You want popcorn? All right, honey. Hold up, guys. Sorry, guys. She woke up. She's like, I want popcorn. Okay, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. There's a picture that I have here that I want to show you guys. See if I can upload it. Let me show y'all what little receipt I have here. And I thought this was interesting. I said, oh, okay. And this woman quietly resigned, okay, which I guess you could do. I mean, hell, I would be quiet if I needed to resign of, this enterprise industry that's now being looked at. I mean, I would do the same, right? That's what you do. You walk away quietly like you were never there. Oh, it didn't upload. Okay, we'll see if I can find it in the original. See if I can find this picture. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I started looking at their PR people. Natalia, what is her name? Let's see. Her name is Natalia Moore. And she was Diddy's PR, Mora. Natalia Mora. Here it is. And oh look, see, her post is still up. This literally, look at this. Now remember, Diddy got the key to the city, okay? Remember this little situation right here, okay? This was her PR, Nat Mora or Moore, okay? And she was sharing, I guess, a little thing right here from the New York Times, Art and Leisure, New York Times. Sean Combs doesn't need to ask anyone for anything. This was circa September 24th, 2023, which would have been in about a year in 4 days, right? Look at that. New York Times, all of this was out there. So this is the cut. And she was sharing it on her page, by the way. Okay. Sharing it on her page. That's what she was doing. She has stopped posting anything since last year. Clearly, right around the time. So he got the key to the city in September. And she stops right here around this time. Then the lawsuit happens. Okay. From Cassie in November. Thought this was interesting timing. And yeah, I mean, this was the picture with the new album and a fresh sense of purpose. The music mogul explores the healing power of love and prosperity. And this was an article from page 8. I mean, this didn't age very well. This is the New York Times. Okay. You said the only key Diddy Pendejo has is the key to hell with all those that have been involved. So yeah, I'm behind, but I keep hearing that John Oddie is going to testify. Really? Listen, I don't know. John Oddie is coming back again, but it's we the people over here on the YouTube internet that have been talking about John Oddie, right? And notice how now the major outlets are giving this man a platform. If that's the case, I don't think he's going to testify, but I haven't heard. I mean, I've heard different things. I just don't think that he is. But I find it interesting, right? Because the media had wrote him off as some crazy ass guy because his act was, I mean, who goes into the Trump hotel tower or whatever wearing the American flag and starts shooting up people and then asking for Trump? Like, who does that? I don't know, right? But years before that, he was fine. It was in a interrogation where he talked about how he had sex with Diddy and Cassie, and that he was a worker. You know what, Petty? You ain't never lied. It's probably not a good idea. to accept any keys from politicians. John Oddie is somebody that came to, well, I'll bring him up since it's relevant, since he's in the news right now. John Oddie, not now, was the man, and this is an article back in 2018. This is how far back it goes. Close. Okay. Yes. All right, Miami. Stop. Shit. The man shot at Trump Hotel was a stripper and a porn actor who loved Melania Trump. This is who John Oddie was. Okay. This is footage of that day. Okay. He goes, this is in 2018. Now, in 2018, John Oddie was sitting in an interrogation room and basically said that he was made to have sex with Diddy and Cassie. In 2018, when did the lawsuit drop for Cassie? In 2023. So this man was making allegations way before the lawsuit, way before all of this started unveiling about Diddy. Okay? This is why John Oddie is coming up. This is why the people, no joke, look at this. This is the video, y'all. Look. I mean, I don't think there's any sound to this, but he's got the American flag there. He's shooting. He's got a gun.
Welcome to Denver, where you can do more.
My bad, y'all. We have a little ad. But this is what he was doing, okay? Hold up, let me see if I can make this smaller. It's not going to let me get out of this ad. Okay, whatever. So he starts shooting up, and then there's an interrogation that happens, and he basically says that he was made to have sex with Cassie and Diddy. And John Oddie, I mean, he was a real estate personality. Like, something happened to him. He was into real estate. He was married. He had a life. Something happened to John Oddie, and it just this whole situation. Okay. Now, Law and Crime. Let me show y'all. Law and Crime. This was back 5 months ago. This is when John Oddie, this video was going out viral again because it was dug up. Okay. He says here that he was made to have sex with Cassie and Diddy. Okay. This was in 2018.
Combs. Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself. Yeah, go ahead.
The man who allegedly opened fire inside of one of former President Donald Trump's Florida hotels several years ago made some wild statements to law enforcement in his interviews.
He did.
Saying he was a sex slave for Sean Diddy Combs. Well, now that federal investigators have raided two of the rapper's homes and an arrest and indictment in a sex trafficking operation could be imminent, the man's comments sound a little less crazy. Well,
y'all hear that? That's who John Oddie is. For those that were asking, everybody called him insane. They did. So that's why I'm like, well, you never know. You never know. And what made John Oddie go insane? What exactly was it? Because, you know, he was fine before. He was fine. I mean, but Diddy has connections with people that work in the adult entertainment industry, right? He does. He's got tapes. He's got different connects. So it wouldn't surprise me. Now, who's the worker? Who's the worker that's going to come in here and testify? That's what I want to know. Please note that Diddy's attorney is also the one that represented Keith Raniere from Nexium. How many of you guys know that? I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but I believe at some point he represented him in that case. Okay, he did. So we shall see. Beyond the grand jury investigation, we're told the feds are still gathering info and interviewing witnesses. And our sources say they reached out to at least one worker that we know of. Okay. And we've been in contact with this S worker who says they plan to be interviewed by the feds in New York City later this month. I didn't think you could just disclose that, especially with the grand jury. Like, you can't be talking to just anybody, but I could be wrong. I know. I love how the degree of separation involves Scientology so much bigger than Weinstein. Or does it? I mean, honestly, like, who isn't in the industry, Pepperoni, somehow not connected to Scientology? Honestly, who isn't? And that's the question: is this man has he been found yet? Because he was missing at one point. He won't be facing trial till like 5 years from now or something like that. John Adi, I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happens. Thank you, Big. Thank you for telling the people to hit that like button, please, and thank you. So that is the issue with this situation. I guess we'll see what happened. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Lori. You're absolutely right. You said 6 degrees of separation, something. He ain't going nowhere, says Candy's Life. Well, we shall see. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I think it's standard procedure that he's on watch. It wouldn't surprise me. I think that it would make sense for him to be on watch. Here's more information on John Adi, porn star, tells cops in 2018 that he's Sean Diddy Combs' alleged slave in resurface video. Okay, and it's resurfaces all the time because of the allegations that he made in 2018. All right. Now, for those that don't know, here is Sean Diddy Combs' register number, inmate entry. It is officially up there. I haven't seen a mugshot. I guess they don't have mugshots, or they don't do mugshots right away. What is that all about? I thought there would be a mugshot by now. You know what I mean? It does. And the thing is, I was talking to one of my creator friends yesterday, and I said, the thing about Sean Diddy Combs, okay, is that it's not just like, it's so many allegations. It's so hard to keep up because there's just so many rabbit holes to it. You know what I mean? So many rabbit holes to it that we just don't really know the ins and outs of everything. You don't know who's involved. You don't know like how deep it goes. And truly, if you're going to talk about Diddy, you could really take it to different things. You said he sued Diddy for giving him HIV. Who sued Diddy for that? Which one? Oh, and speaking of which, the inmate from Michigan, basically, I guess, lost his case to a certain degree. The one that won 100 mil. The one of Diddy's attorneys did something real quick and was able to make the argument that he wasn't properly served, and therefore that little win was thrown out. So Cardello Smith from Michigan, I guess this is not a win for him. One less thing for Diddy to worry about at this point. I don't know if that's something that they're going to keep addressing. We'll see how that goes down, right? You said, how will he cope without all those drugs? He was supposedly he must be in withdrawals. That's what we were saying, Claire. That's why maybe he's on watch. Could be. Now, how about that Jay-Z? Oh, girl. Jay-Z. Did y'all know we share a birthday? I think his birthday's December 4th. We do share a birthday, y'all. We do share a birthday, December 4th. Jay-Z and I share a birthday. Now, what am I going to do? Okay. The guy's a Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius as well. Shout out to us. But we share a birthday on the same day. That's what happened. So you said we should send Diddler letters of disapproval. LOL. I'm pretty sure that communication is going to be very minimal, love. I would bet my money on it, girl. Thank you for the $2. You're on the second. I know. Shout out to my Saggies. Shout out to my Saggies. You're married to one? Aren't we crazy? Let me know. I share a birthday with Jay-Z. I'm pretty sure because I had him on a thumbnail last year. I'm like, that must be because when is Jay-Z's birthday? Yep, December 4th. I'm on December 4th too. I can't change my date. What? Oh my God. Shout out to my Capricorns. And it's Virgo. Ooh, shout out to Sean Davy Way. It's his birthday today. Shout out. Happy birthday, Sean. I don't think he's watching because he's busy because, it's his birthday. But shout out to him. Yeah, me too, Taurus. I hate to see when people ask, why is he or she speaking now? Because victims are threatened in many cases, and some are unalive because of what they know. Diddy got violent enough to pay thugs. Well, and I agree with you on that, honestly. Anytime, and I've said this before on this channel, people that have questioned people for speaking out. I'm like, well, why can't they? Why now? Why not now? Why not speak up now when you know that stuff is going down? So yeah, I agree with you on that. And that's a way, especially the fans, that's a way for them to like turn it onto the person. So I agree with you on that. Yes, everybody. I don't know if, I mean, I guess we'll see. I heard a lot of rumors. I just don't know if anything is true, if you know what I mean. But yeah, you said you butt heads with Sagis. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. But see, one thing about Sagittarius is that we do know how to agree to disagree and move on, right? For the sake of the relationship, of the friendship, of anything that's going on, we know how to agree to disagree. How about Ellen? Ellen's another one too. I did a video on Ellen as well. You know, there's a lot of these industry people that have been knowing about Diddy and have chosen not to speak about. Like they just were quiet and complicit. They knew. They knew they need to say something. In my opinion, I think that if they profited in one way or had a career build up from that, they need to, you know, figure it out and speak out. I mean, they might get pulled in to testify. You never know. You never know. You absolutely me. You Diddy did not do it all on his own. He had plenty of help. You said agree when a survivor's ready, they will talk. Can't judge about when it exactly. You can't judge a victim or a survivor when they're ready to speak. Everybody takes their time to speak out, and that's why, you know, you have to allow them to speak when they need to speak. That's how I see it. The other okay, so this is a story, and I gotta talk to you guys about this one because this one's kind of a like, what is going on here, right? A sheriff in Kentucky, all right, got mad at a judge and shoots him. Typically, when I hear stories like this, it's like there's something else that was going on. The sheriff, you know, maybe like something was going on here, right? So I heard this and I said, I don't understand this story. I was really confused by it. Shout out to the subby that sent it to me. Okay. Sheriff accused of killing judge during courthouse argument in Southeast Kentucky. How? Like, what happened here? You said that's the backwoods of Kentucky for you. LOL. Just kidding. No, honeybee. Like, let me know. I mean, I've heard of, you know, people being set up to be murdered and stuff like that, but I've never heard of a sheriff just straight up killing a judge. So how does this happen? What is this? What is it giving? It to me, it's giving more like somebody was mad at something. Somebody was revengeful of something. I don't know. You just randomly go and you shoot a judge. How does that work? What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. You say you had multiple. Okay, hold up. That's not the comment. Hold up. Sometimes you never wanted to. Sometimes you just wanted to move on. Oh, Lord. Isn't there a Reba? Not a Reba. Jordy T said, isn't there a Reba song about this? That's cold country. So that's how they get down? You don't like the judge? You're just going to shoot the judge? See, honeybee, I was like, my mind clearly went to that. I'm not going to lie to you. Don't it sound super personal? It's a wild story. A sheriff shooting a judge feels like a divorcer. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? Really? So a judge is dead after a shooting at a courthouse in Southeast Kentucky. And officials say the sheriff of the county fired the shots. Okay. The shooting was reported just before 3 p.m. At the courthouse. Kentucky State Police said that 911 callers heard shots fired in the building. And they had a whole press conference over this. I don't get it. You said it's common in the South, unfortunately. Oh my God. Really? Lord have mercy. Hold up. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, we're going to watch that here in a minute. Whoever just put this in the comments. But let me finish this real quick. Thank you, Sarah. I'm going to put this up in a minute. But let me finish this real quick before we go there. So when they arrived, the officer said that they found the district judge, Kevin Mullins, 54, with multiple gunshot wounds, and he died in the chamber. So he died in his chambers. The preliminary investigation indicates that the sheriff, his name is Mickey Steins 43 of McRoberts, shot Mullins during an argument. The KSP did not elaborate on what led to the dispute and said that they're still investigating. So the judge died in chambers. See, I don't want to start any rumors, but I'm like, how? You would have to be some type of like, this is personal. It's a sheriff. The sheriffs are going to do what sheriffs do, right? They work in the courthouse sometimes. They take people. I don't get it. So Steins was taken into custody at the scene without incident. So he didn't even put up a fight and was charged with 1 count of murder first degree. KSP said he's not being held at the county and did not say which jail he's in. Kentucky General Attorney Russell Coleman said in his office will elaborate with the Commonwealth's attorney on the 27th Judicial Circuit, Jackie Steele, as a special prosecutor on this case. So our deepest sympathies go out to the victims of this tragic event. Thoughts and prayers to the family, of course. I don't get it. Anyways, so this is an interesting story. I'm sure more is going to get developed with that. Now, shout out to Sarah, who just gave us an update on this. So we got a Diddy video. Puff gets cuffed on camera. Video of arrest in New York hotel. TMZ gets the exclusives all the time. Now, let me put my banner because TMZ loves to strike the people, the little people over here. Hold up, y'all. I don't think that there's sound to this. Hold up. There's Diddy. Let me make myself small. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Damn, they're like wearing white. Hold up. They're not even in uniform, y'all. There's no sound, by the way. They're not in uniform. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I know. Do you notice that they're like dressed like hotel workers? There was like at least 20 people in his entourage. Thank you, Abraham. It's a long video, you guys. They look like bellboys, don't they? God, hold up. Hold up. Let's watch that one more time if we can. I don't want to download your app, TMZ. I don't even like you. Hold up. See if we can go back to it again. Here we go. So let me go back. I'm going to try to slow it down. Let's slow this down. I don't think we can. Yeah, it won't let me. Damn. We don't need the captions. Here we go. Whoa. Someone sold the footage. You know it had to be somebody in that hotel, Vic. See, look at that. Their shirts aren't even tucked in. He had a whole entourage. You see all those people behind there? He had a whole group right there. I don't know, Pinche Becky. Who was the one that called Cuff Daddy Daddy, and then everybody took that? Nancy Grace put it on her thumbnails and everything. They heard it from us. I think we were the first ones, and then it went out, and everybody took it from us. Look at that. Be taking some stuff. He knew, right, Steve? He knew it was a wrap right away. Look at that. I really wish TMZ would take away their watermark. Like, okay, TMZ, we got it. We know it's yours. We're not stealing it. We're giving commentary. He was. So Entourage was out. They said, no, ma'am. Go ahead. Take him. Here you go. That's what they said. Yes, you heard it here first, right, Cheeks? They're all wearing white. They do look a bit like hotel workers, kind of like disguised. They were waiting for him. They knew where he was at. Right, Amber. So, with so many dealings that Diddy has with these hotels, right? Imagine, right? So many dealings with these hotels. They're the ones selling footage over to TMZ. It's crazy. You think they would have done something to like not show this footage, but hey, whatever. Look at that. There, you got 1, 2. How many officers is that? Hold up, let's count. Okay, one over here has him by the shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them. 4 of them. All right. You said he was due to voluntarily surrender the day after, but something changed to make them go in early. Right, Sasha? Remember, because he knew they were coming. Allegedly, right? Because I mean, the attorney would like y'all to believe that he accommodated for this arrest. He wanted to make sure that the people could find him. You know, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's a white party. Who said that? Is Diddy's going away white party? Hey, Renee, is Diddy's going away white party? That's what this was. You said Tubi, Scott. I hate Tubi. Look at this. All right, hold up. How many officers we got here? Look, and see, some of these guys weren't even walking in with him. Some of these, I mean, I don't know if that's part of the group right here, but look, they're over here watching. It's Diddy's white. See, somebody's gonna steal this. Watch, we said it first. Okay, watch. Somebody's gonna say, look, it's the white party. They're all coming in white. See, they have these like secret. Oh my god! And then you have these clowns. Sorry, y'all, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the TMZ elite. Anyways, yeah. So they got the footage moments before showing the officers. You could see the team reacting. Diddy's team. I wouldn't say it's a perp walk. I don't know, because I feel like a perp walk would be like if they get, they're walking from the jail to the car. But I guess you can consider that since we don't really have that. It really is. They all wore white. Diddy's white party will be held in cell block this year instead of the white orange. The orange party. The orange party. What do y'all think? What do you guys think? I mean, somebody sold this. It feels like TMZ gets a hold of everything before a lot of people do. But yeah, they said sometime later Diddy appears in the camera, but now his hands are cuffed behind his back as the feds escort him throughout the hallway and walk into the elevator. And this is his entourage right here. Look at them. They're like, what is going on? See, he had a big entourage behind him. He really did. Look at that. You said someone in his camp is a rat and they're not trying to go to jail with Diddy's ass. You see how quickly they walked away from him? See, Diddy, this is when TLC was singing What About Your Friends? Are they going to be around? This is them right here. This is what they meant. Are they going to be low down? This is what TLC meant when they said, what about your friends right here? Because clearly they literally dispersed right away. They didn't even go upstairs. They didn't say like, officer, listen, I'm here. I'm going to walk in there with you. No, they left. What about your friends? They left. Renee's like, I once got invited to a white party and I said, thank goodness I didn't go. Y'all see that? Because they didn't even go with the I mean, a real friend would have been like, listen, I'm going to go with you guys, or at least meet you somewhere, make sure that you guys got everything that you need. We've been waiting for him to get arrested. I don't know. They knew what to do. I'm so right about that song. Listen to the lyrics. There's a reason why it says what it says. Are they going to be low down? No, they're not. Not when it hits the fan. Not this way. No. You said white parties on Rikers Island instead of Long Island. Well, there you go, Ann. Shout out to you. Have you guys hit the like button yet? Please let me know. Please and thank you. Hit that like button. All right. One of the stories I really want to talk about, and I'm a little like, I'm going to probably do a separate video about this because it definitely deserves it. Okay. So there's a woman in California, okay, by the name of Alexis Lorenze. I think that's her last name, not Lorenzo, Lorenze. All right. And I have to move on to this. 23-year-old girl, very beautiful girl, okay? And there have been these viral videos that have been going on TikTok. Now, when I heard about the story, I said, is this really real? Is this really? I guess it is, right? She had a really bad, she was given, I believe, 3 vaccines and had like a really bad life-threatening reaction over this. Have y'all heard about it? Thank you, Real Deal. Um, literally, I mean, she is literally like they're with her, they're watching her, they're trying to make her comfortable. I hope that there's still life situations happening where they're helping her through. I don't see her on a breathing machine, so I think that she's like slowly recuperating, but she's 23 years old. You remember when you were 23? I do. It was, and it's crazy because I've had this vaccine before. It was a meningitis vaccine. I definitely, because I lived in a dorm at one point when I was in my young 20s, and I'm glad that I had. Let me tell you what happened. All right, I lived in a dorm, and I remember they recommended it, but they didn't mandate it. I just went to go take it because I was like, let me just go, right? And I mean, hell, I'm getting all the vaccines because and now I think it's a little bit different, but when you're a kid, what choice do you have when you're getting vaccines done, right? And especially like in the early 90s, when like if you didn't have a vaccine, you didn't get enrolled in school. And my mom's doing what she has to do, my family's doing what they have to do, right? So I'm getting a vaccine, this meningitis vaccine, because I'm living in a dorm. And literally it was like maybe a year after I had moved in, there was a huge meningitis breakout in that dorm, and it was so scary that I believe the young person that got it passed away. um it's scary, it's scary. So my biggest thing is, I don't, however you guys land, whether you support vaccines or not, that's on you. Just do your research. I always advise, like, whatever y'all want to do your research. Do your research, because you never know. I don't let them jab because they are putting God knows what in them, right? You want to know what they put in them, crafty kid, like you do. And now that I've gotten older, I'm like, I get so suspicious about different things. But I don't want to run conspiracy theories about different things. I'm doing what works for me, just like you guys are doing what works for you. Does that make sense? And the best thing, and I've said it more than once, right? It's like the political stuff that's happening. Okay. Your cut. Oh, I'm so sorry, Heather. Yeah, so that's what it was. And it was really horrible because it eats at your skin. I'm really sorry, Heather, um, about that. It's like viral meningitis, and it's horrible. It's horrible. It's a horrible disease. Okay, do your research when it comes to this, just like you would. You're not going to be influenced by what people say online about these politicians. You do your own research. That's what you need to do. I always ask that. It's the same with the vaccines, and I'm looking at the camera directly because I want y'all to pay attention. Okay, do your own research when it comes to this. Okay, at the end of the day, it's your body. You're going to do what you want with it. Do your own research when it comes to this. So this young woman, 23, Alexis Lorenze, shares one of her darkest struggles with her followers, saying, "This is absolutely the worst thing I've ever been through." Alexis has been documenting her harrowing experience after being admitted to an UCI Medical Center in Orange, California on September 10th for treatment of, and I cannot even say the medical term, but it's PNH, a rare and life-threatening blood disorder. Okay. For religious reasons, Alexi and her family had long abstained from vaccines. However, she says that the hospital informed her that continuing treatment required vaccinations. Faced with difficult choices between risking her health condition or agreeing to receive multiple vaccines, Alexi reluctantly accepted. She says that within minutes of receiving the vaccines for meningitis, pneumonia, and tetanus, she began experiencing extreme adverse reactions, leaving her battling for her life. From losing vision in both eyes to severe internal bleeding and painful purple patches spreading across her body, Alexis' condition rapidly deteriorated. Her family, devastated and frustrated, claimed hospital staff delayed treatment for her adverse reactions, further compounding her suffering. I'm beyond scared, and everything in my body hurts. You guys, you see her face, and she looks like I just want to help her because she looks like she's in pain. You know what I mean? Young 23. Y'all remember when you were 23? Like, can you imagine going through something like that? And you don't know if your body's shutting down or what it's affecting. It's crazy. It's crazy. Truly. It is very common and very scary. I'm so glad you said that, Taurus here. It's sad, but Alexis permitted UCI medical centers to release her medical records and discuss her case with Fox 11. However, UCI Media Relations has not responded despite repeated calls and emails. They're not going to respond. They're going to get their lawyer. That's what they're going to do. So there's been a GoFundMe for her. And I mean, I don't want to play the video because, like I said, we're all being watched by bots of what we're playing. So I have to be very careful. But check her out. She's all over social media. Her face, it's like you see she's slowly recovering, but we don't know, like, is it going to be like a bad, like, this is life and death at this point because she's in critical condition, honestly. But they are watching her. So you guys keep that family in your prayers. Keep that family in your prayers. You said you couldn't be on, I couldn't imagine being on a breathing machine at 23. You know what I'm saying? You're reckless. I was more worried about getting shots than receiving shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we're 23, we're not thinking, we're doing stupid things. We're invincible. I know I felt like that. Like, I was like, nothing can get at me. Nothing's, and I mean, I went through some crazy stuff at 23, but this young girl, she's really fighting for her life at this point. And I truly hope that she makes it out okay. It didn't look like it was going to happen, and her face is so puffy. It really is. You said it's all a numbers game with the vaccines. I don't want to get into too much, but vaccines have saved way more lives they've harmed. Imagine no polio vax. Right, Jim? Like, you kind of have this. What I'm saying is, like, y'all do your research. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to run a campaign. I don't want to tell you guys what to do, that's not my job. It's not my job to do that to you whatsoever. Do your research. That's the best that I can say, right? That's all we can do is stay informed. Let's get informed of the different things. Severe allergic reaction is possible. Absolutely. I think I had one when I took a vaccine as well, and it wasn't good. So everybody's body is different. And no, is it every 7 years that your body picks up a new allergy, like an allergic reaction to something, like every 7 years or something like that? That's what I heard the number was, but I could be wrong. But anyways, guys, I'm going to let you guys go because I got to get, in a little while, I got to do another live. I might push it back for another 30 minutes just so I haven't finished my coffee. I got to let this coffee hit. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about all of this that we talked about. Okay. Shout out to you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me shout out some people, though, real quick. Again, thank you so much, Diddy, for supporting my channel. Wim, Rian, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. Y'all are amazing. I'll see you guys in a little while, okay? Bye, guys. Where's my exit button? Right over here. Bye, guys.